Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're joining us from. Thank you so much for your patience. Even as we started a bit late, we are really grateful and honored to have you here for part three of Hannah, the financial coach. She's been working with us. We've been in hospital, treating our financial illnesses, and she's been really, really handy. So, Hannah, karibu sana. I will not take much of your time. I know you have a lot. God bless you even as you start, and we are ready to learn.
Excellent. Happy to be here. Excellent. Hi, everybody. This is Hannah, the financial coach, once more. Today, I'm here to take care of your debt issues. We have been able to do about to learn about budgeting. We've been able to learn about savings. We've been able to plan our retirement, plan education for our kids. Now, today, we're going to take care of the huge elephant in the room, that is debt management. It's very important for you to understand how debt works. And one of the main things that is going to help you today is to know how to manage your debt. So happy to be here. Let's take it away. If you have any questions regarding your debts, put it in the chat, and we'll be able to catch up with you. Once again, I've been able to teach this to many individuals for the last 16 years. From my bio, you can see I have been doing this for the last 15 to 16 years. I'm a graduate of University of Nairobi in commerce, business commerce, accredited by IRA and also by ISPAC. I'm also a trainer of trainers by CMS Africa, and I'm passionate about helping each and every household in Kenya to be able to live within their means and to take care of their debts, get out of bad debts, get into good debts. Now, what is debt? And what does that debt mean to you? This is an opportunity for you to be able to raise funds, but by promising to repay those funds in a later time in the future. And you have to agree on the terms of the contract that you'll be able to use these funds for how long, at what interest rate, and how long you will have to pay back. So that is what debt is. So it's giving you an opportunity to use money that you haven't earned yet so that it can provide for you opportunities. It can be able to save you from a hurdle, and then you can be able to use it well and then pay it back within the contractual terms you have agreed with your debtor. Now, I know for many people out there has been a pain. It has been a sore thumb, but today we're going to learn about good debts and bad debt. And debt can be a good thing. And you realize that debt can also help propulate your life and move it faster than where you are by enabling you to open doors of opportunities for you that you're not able to reach by the current means you have. So we're going to look at the good debt first. And when you're having good debt, you realize that you're happy, it increases your income, you're still able to sleep, it doesn't stress you. But when you have bad debt, and I'll be able to show you what bad debt is and what good debt is, and how you can be able to gain from either and see how to be able to build you and get out of it. Now, good debt is money that you borrow to build wealth. It's money that at the end of the day, that money uses itself to pay itself without removing any more from your pocket. And you have to look at good debts as from where you have taken the debt from. You're realizing that apart from where you've taken the debt from, why you have taken the debt, you need to do your why. Anytime you have anything to do with finances, you need to understand your why. Once you understand your why will be able to guide you. For my example that I've been able to put there, you're seeing that if you're taking it to be able to get a rental income, be a homeowner, these are opportunities for you to grow. Or you're taking it to also to increase your knowledge. While increasing your knowledge, it will open opportunities for you to create more income for you. That's a good debt because it's adding you value, it's adding you joy, it's increasing your income. And then, where do you get good debts? Where are good sources of good debts? You can get them from reputable circles. Reputable circles are circles who are regulated by SASRA, which is a government body that checks to see that they are performing credit terms in the right way. And then you can get it in regulated bank. In a regulated bank, it means that the interest rate is not haphazardly input, and they have contractual terms that when you pay early, they will not penalize you. Then you can get from your own family members who know you, who are willing to vouch for you. So, depending on how close you are with your members of the family, you can be able to get good debts from them at low interest rate or no interest. You may also be having a merry-go-round chama where you have agreed that you can be able to borrow through table banking, and then in the future you can return back the interest or the principal at an agreed time. Also, affordable housing. Currently, we are at an advantage where the government is sponsoring many people to get affordable housing at an agreed interest rate that is going between 9 and lower interest rate. And this you'll find when you go to your bank and tell them you want the affordable housing loan, which is approved by government, and you can be able to get it if you inquire for it. So you can be able to buy an affordable home. Also, a salary advance from your employer where they're able to give you future money that you can use now as compared to later. And accredited microfinance. These are microfinances that are regulated, that have systems that are operational. Why this is important, why I keep on insisting on accredited, regulated means that they have ethical way of giving out loans. Because you realize when you go to bad sources of debt, you realize that they do not have regulations, they do not have ethics on the amount of interest they can charge you. So it's very important for you to be involved in organization that can be able to give you good debts at any one point. And as a good citizen and as part of maturity and adulting, do not wait until you need a debt to start planning for debt. No, you need to start planning for it before you have need for it. What do I mean? In your normal financial budgeting, 10% of your income should go towards saving in a circle so that when you actually need debt, which you will eventually need as opportunities open up for you, you have enough savings for you to be able to borrow from that circle to be able to enjoy a good rate. Because currently, the average interest rate for circles is 1% and less per month, depending on which circle you're in. Why I have put circle as number one as a good source of debt is because the interest you pay back to the circle comes back to you at the end of the year as dividends. So it's very important before you need debt to plan for it in advance. Even when you don't have debt, you see the savings that you're doing there will still earn for you interest. And the savings will also give you multiples of opportunity for debt. What do I mean? If you have been able to save maybe 100,000, depending with your circle, you can get from multiples of 3 to multiples of 10, depending also on the product. So it's very important to be able to internalize on the opportunities that are there for you to get good debt, be able to approach them, learn the type of products that are there that are able to sort your needs. Why is this important to learn products? Because you realize, in as much as there are many products in the basket, you may find that one basket in the different products, you may find one product is more expensive than the other, and you need to maximize the use of your money. So make sure you be able to internalize, you do your research, compare, and also get feedback from people who have been able to take loans and they're using it well. All right. Then from the good debt, we move on now to bad debts. Bad debts usually are not collectible. They're usually hefty. At the end of the day, you realize they are very stressful to you as a person, and they drag your financial situations worse. They make it worse. Why? You have to still use your own money to be able to pay this debt. So that causing you to strain. So it's very important for you to know where you took that debt. If you cannot be able to account of where you took that debt, you realize you'll strain. And one of the ways to be able to get rid of bad debts is to start negotiating terms regarding that debt, or start analyzing your resources where you use this debt for. If it was for something that was not helpful to you, maybe you bought a piece of land that is not increasing, or you took it and consumed it to sort a financial situation, you need to get rid of that debt very quickly, because it will harm your financial future, because it's not helping you, it's shackling your income. So it's very important to be able to understand the kind of debt you have. Now, there are two types of bad debts in you. There are debts that you have taken yourself, and you have consumed the debt, and it's not adding value to your portfolio. And then there are debts you yourself have given out to your friends and family and sorted their emergencies or their needs, and you know that you're not able to collect from it. Now you need to, for those debts that cannot be collected at all, you need to cut them off from your portfolio and no longer consider them as your debtors, because they will not be able to be payable. For you yourself, for the debts that you have consumed and you cannot be able to see value from it, or you cannot be able to get income from it, you need to pay it quickly, because the longer you are with that debt, the longer it will strain you. I hope you have understood that. And we need to look at, why do people get into debt? What goes on into those opportunities of where you find somebody shackled into debt? One of the ways people are getting into debt is you're not writing your own budget. You're not living within your means. And if you do not have a written down budget, you realize that you're not matching your expenditure to your income, or you have low income or underemployed, meaning you have more expenses than income at every month. So it's very important for you to understand the current situation you're in. Once you understand the current situation you're in, you need to be able to juggle, meaning if you're giving your employer 8 hours in a day, and the income you're getting from that employer is not able to sustain you, you have other 16 hours where you can be able to get more work or do something as an extra income to increase your income, to be able to get rid of your debts. Also, we have seen separation causing people to go into debt. Why? First of all, divorce and separation is very expensive and strains one's income. Why? Because there are legal fees that are there, the separation of assets, you need to change of living arrangements, and you need to move. And now you have more expenditure that was not there before. So it's very important for you to understand where you're where you are any one time regarding your debt. All right. And then poor money management. You need to know how you're managing your money. Once you know how you're managing your money, it will be able to advise you where each coin goes. Because as a financial coach, I highly advise about people living on zero sum budget. Zero sum budget means accounting for every coin that you have. Accounting for every coin you have means telling your money where to go, not where your not your expenses telling you where to spend themselves. Once you're able to tell your budget where to go, you realize that you have a little bit of peace, because you're able to account for every coin where it has gone. So, as I reiterate from the first lesson we had from day one, have a written down budget. Try and live way, way, way below your means so that you can be able to create a pool of fund that can be able to take care of bad debts, that can be able to pay your debts, and then they can be able to grow your income to create more investments for you. Also, as we have been continuing with life, you have realized that the inflation rates are going up and also the taxations are going up. Thus, you realize, especially starting this month, with with the introduction of the SHIF fund, less income will be coming to a household. And remember that income that will now go to SHIF was responsible for a certain expense. And unfortunately, it that expense will have to look for more income for it to be catered for before a family can readjust its finances. So you see, high cost of living are causing people to enter into debt. So try to live within your means, or living within your means is a start. Try and live way, way below your means so that you can be able to have a pool of resources to help you and not strain you. In addition to that, healthcare. Healthcare has become one of the critical expense that are causing people to enter into debt, especially healthcare of our own parents. You realize that when you become elderly, your body demands a lot more from you, meaning you'll have to incur more health expenditure. So it's very important for you to be able to get into a health cover that can be able to protect you, because we say in Africa we are one death away from poverty, or one disease away from poverty. So be very vigilant on taking care of the risks that are associated with you and are associated with your members of your family. Also, there's the overuse of credit card. Credit cards are the normal ATMs you have, are those, we call them debit cards, meaning the cards have money for you to spend. A credit card, it is the money that you're using for the bank, or for the bank, you're using for future income that you have not yet earned. So you're finding people are taking credit cards. They're very sweet to use because you do not want to think about the consequences later. But they come with very high interest rate. If you do not pay them within the window period that you have been given, they have a small window period that you can be able to pay for you not to incur high interest rate. If you do not pay in good time, that credit card will earn a very high interest rate that can lead you into very high credit and very high debt. Usually, my clients tell me they take credit card just for those emergencies that they have not been able to take care of. So they only use them for emergency. But remember, when you go for a shopping spree, you get into what you call euphoria. There's a hormone that's released in you, euphoria and joy. You just want to keep spending without understanding the consequences of tomorrow because there is no capping. So it's very dangerous when you have a credit card and you know the character of yourself. Everyone knows thyself. So if you know yourself, you do not have a limit of how, if you had an open check to spend as much as you can. And that's what credit cards lies to you. That you have a golden yardstick that can just go and just swipe away all your desires, and you just find things you're going home with. That's why you also realize things that are bought from higher purchase are very expensive when you look at the cost. So please be very vigilant to understand your money character. Once you understand your own money character, you'll be able to understand how debt is working for you or against you. Then unexpected expenses will always be there. That is part of life and that is part of adulting. So it's very important for oneself to understand and prepare for emergencies. Excuse me. You need to understand emergencies will always be there. And as an adult of sound mind, sober, you need to prepare for emergencies. And you remember from our first class, we said after you have paid tithe, the first expenditure you need to do is 30% of your income should go towards paying yourself first. And of paying yourself first, The first expense to yourself is creating an emergency fund, which should be 18 months of your monthly income. This amount should be saved in a money market fund, earning you interest that is higher than the inflation rate. Averagely, right now in Kenya, the inflation rate is a going rate of 6 to 7%. So you realize that when you keep aside emergency money in a money market fund that is earning for you averagely 1% a month, or 13% per annum, it will be able to shoulder the inflation, and it will also shoulder you from unexpected emergencies. And sometimes these emergencies may not be from you and your nuclear family, it may be from your extended family, like your parent, that you need to take care of. So it's very important for you to have an emergency saving account. Now, you realize, because we come from a community and a society, if you know as children that your parent has declining health and they do not have insurance, they do not have the government insurance or the private insurance, you as siblings, you need to keep each other accountable and open a joint family money market fund where you can be pulling resources to safeguard against medical emergencies. And for some time, you may realize you may have even the medical cover, but because the issue that is affecting your members of family is chronic, meaning chronic, it cannot be fully healed or pre-existing, you may find that your health cover has sublimits. It can only cover you to an extent. Or even if it covers you the whole amount, when you're renewing, it will have what you call loading. Loading means it will increase the rates because of the expenditure. If your expenditures are high, your medical insurance fees will also be high. So you can be able to safeguard that by pulling resources as members of one family to be able not to get into debt because of declining health. Also, job loss. Currently, we are not like our parents, where our parents had permanent and pensionable terms. Currently, you're finding that with the changing dynamics of work, you're finding more and more people are losing work, as we knew it before of 8 to 5. So when you're transitioning between job loss or changing of job, you find people getting into debt to be able to maintain their standard of living for themselves and their family. And that is why we have to have an emergency account. It will be able to mitigate against such issues, because for emergency saving, we say that we save towards 18 months of your monthly income. So in case you have a job loss or have a transition, for 1 year and a half, you'll be able to maintain your living standards without getting into debt because of job loss. Also, unemployment can disrupt financial stability. Why? You may have encountered a job loss and you're not getting employed as quickly as you'd want or as you wish. So those are one of the reasons that people are entering into debt. Gambling addiction. I don't know if you've realized currently, one of the advertisements that gambling companies are putting out there is, if you're having an addiction for gambling, they're offering free counseling services to be able to deal with you. Because you realize, because of the high euphoria of winning, there's a hormone that is released in you that excites very many people to continue gambling. And if you cannot be able to control yourself, you realize that you will have to unnecessarily borrow to be able to meet this gambling addiction, just like drugs. So it's very important for you to be sober minded and take care of understanding yourself. Once you understand yourself and how you are relating to money, there are systems and boundaries you can do with money that you can be able to protect yourself against yourself. All right? I hope you understood that. So how do you get out of debt? If you're dealing with a debt issue, is assess your debt. Sit down with your financial diary. As I taught you, it's very important to keep a financial diary. Sit down with your financial diary and then narrate to yourself by illustrating each debt that you have. Every debt that you have, write it down. Do not be merciful to yourself, no. Write all your debts. Stop hiding your head in the sand. Sit down with with a pen and paper in your financial diary. Write all your debts. All of them, including the kiosk mamamboga debt that you owe. Then once you have been able to write down all your debt, assess. Assess how much debt do I have? What is my debt balance? Understand the interest rate that are attracted to that debt, and then understand the payments that are required for that debt. Can you afford it? Once you have understood the full picture of what you owe, you'll be able to create a solution that is tailor-made to yourself. Now, you realize once you look at the debt payments that you're removing every month, for us, we advise that 10% should go towards paying your debt. Of your income, 10% should go towards paying your debt. But you'll find in most households, the amount that you're paying back to debt is higher than that 10%. So what do? You can renegotiate the terms of your debt to either extend the period of the debt, so that's reducing the amount of debt. You can ask for forgiveness of the interest of the debt, so that you only have the principal remaining to pay the debt. All right. Then after you have written down all your debts, and you know at any one point what are the components of my debt, you create a budget that is realistic to you, that will first cover the essentials of your living expenses. That is your housing, your utilities, and your groceries. And then once you've been able to take care of your basic essentials, now you reallocate whatever is left towards paying your debt. This is without touching your 30% of paying yourself first, because that paying yourself first is what will help you and shield you from gaining more debt in the future. So you have created your debt, you created your budget, and you've been able to meet all your essentials expenses. And then now you hit at your debt, hit at it, hit at it, hit at it, chop it, chop it, chop it, until you finally finalize with it. All right. Then now, when you have your debt list, you need to reorganize your debt. Reorganize your debt by looking at which is the most critical. Critical means, do you have auctioneers at your door? Those are the people you do not want near your door, because they will mishandle you, and they will misuse your house chattels, and they will sell them at a throwaway price. So you need to take care of to prioritize your debt by looking at the critical emergency debts that have to be taken care of. Secondly, look at after you've taken care of the emergency debts, look at the high priority debts. Those are debts that are eating on your income through the high interest rate. Try and take care of them quickly, because they are eating your income and they're not helping build you. Then the low priority debts are the ones where the interest rates are low and they are paying themselves, meaning you do not need to remove your income to pay for them. They're already paying themselves, as they are good debts that are working for you. All right. Then you can negotiate with your creditors. Go back to the drawing board. Tell them, the way the inflation has increased, the taxes have also increased. Can we talk more about the debt you gave me? Can we reduce the interest rate? If they're not willing to reduce the interest rate, we renegotiate the period I was supposed to pay? Can we renegotiate the amount that I was supposed to pay, so that you can be able to breathe comfortably? Because when you have debt, sometimes it gives you so much pressure, and also you have your own internal pressure in regarding paying this debt quickly, because it's like something that is hanging over your head, right? I continue. We need to see, after you have renegotiated with your creditors, and do not be quiet, do not change your number to your debtors. They will still catch you. Why? Because your ID is something unique with you, and your KRA is still unique with you. They have mechanism of catching you because your identity is not changing. So communicate with your debtors. Tell them the truth. If you're not in employment, tell them the truth, because you're finding there are some debts that have insurances that in case you're not employable, you're not employed, sorry, you're all employable. In case you are not in employment, the insurance can be able to take care of that debt in the period you're not employed. All right. So it's very important to communicate with your debtors what is going on in your life so that they can be able to support you. Even them, they're in business. They only make money from you when you pay the debt, and they only make money when you take the debt. So even them, they want you to pay their debt in peace. Even them, they don't want drama. They don't want to send you to auctioneer or goons. No. So for you to be able to live in harmony, it's win-win. Even if they tell you to go to court, even if they say you go to court, appear and be able to tell the judge how much you can be able to afford. Don't fear. It's your free country. Don't fear. Communicate. Let them know how much you're able to pay. Let them know what is going on in your life. All right? Or by you refusing to communicate with them and running away, that property you bought, it will be sold at a throwaway price because of your lack of communication. Know that it's win-win. The banks want their money, and you want to pay them so that you can all live comfortably with each other. All right? When you have debt, it goes into you can go on to cut unnecessary expenditure so that you can reduce your spending. What does that mean? Stop eating out. Stop Pizza Tuesday. Terrific Tuesday is not for you when you have debt to. I know one of my clients today was telling me that when they have stress, they need to go out and reduce stress. You will increase stress because the more you're eating out, the more you are reducing you're reducing your ability to pay. So eat at home and eat simple meals and shop wisely so that you can be able to leave some money as much as you can to be able to go to reduce your debt and also save for emergency savings. It's only for a period of time. And as I said, money is character. Once you've been able to readjust and pay your debts in time and do what you need to do, and to remove them from your life, those unnecessary debts, you'll be able to align and you'll be able to eat out again. So don't worry. It's for a season, it's not forever. So you can make it fun with the kids. Help them understand why you don't have to buy a pizza every Tuesday. You can make a pizza at home. It's cheaper and more healthy and beneficial to you. All right. So try and free as much money as you can towards your debt. In addition, consider extra gaining skills that can be able to increase your income. You can freelance. You can also sell unused items in the house. If you have two laptops, sell one, remain with one. You know, if you have designer clothes or designer something, sell it so that you can use that income towards paying your debt. Yes, it will inconvenience for a period of time, but you can always buy another one after you're comfortably paid off your debt and the people you owe. All right. In addition to that, ways of increasing income is look for opportunities, look for people's problems and solve their problems. Once you solve the problem, that's where income is. People keep telling me, Hannah, there are no jobs, there are no opportunity. Look for people's problems, where their pain points are. Were you able to get solutions for those pain points, you'll be able to get income. And people are willing to pay for their conveniences. All right. You do not even have to look far. In your surrounding, in your residential area where you live, see what is ailing people and meet their needs. That's where the income you'll find. Also, at your places of work, if they are offering part time or extra hours at an extra income, take them up. Take them up. and increase your income so that you can be able to pay your debts quickly. Also, remove your children from academies. Remove your children from academies. See where your leaks are. Can you afford that school where your child is going to? Maybe you change jobs and the income is not as it were before, or one spouse is not working. My friend, remove that child from the academy. Why? 1 plus 1 in an academy in Oxford, in Turi, is 2. Even in a county school, it's 2. So if you can reduce your expenses by going to basic schooling for your children, because that's one of the highest expenses that I've realized by through research and interacting with many clients from experience, that is eating on people's income, is the high school fees. So if you keep on staying there and you cannot afford it, you are working for the school. Did you get that? Remove your children in an academy if you cannot afford it. You can substitute their learning by having a tuition for them. All right. So remove their children from academies into a more conventional school that you can afford. And yourself, you can move from the house that you're staying as long as it's rental and move to a place you can afford for a time until you pay off what you need to pay to the people you owe, so that you can have peace of mind and sleep well and not get ulcers, because sometimes debt is stressful and sometimes debt is shameful. Why? Because some of the app debts that we have are going to our friends and family and calling them and telling them all our business, you know. So remove that embarrassment and pay your debt. Dawa ya mkopo ni kulipa. The solution to a loan is to pay. All right. Another way of taking care of debt is using the snowballing effect. This is, you have listed all your debts in a list, and then you start paying the smallest debt first, and then continue until you clear all the debt. So you pay the small debt first. That amount you are paying, you go to the second debt, to the other debt, to the other debt, to the other debt, until you have cleared all of them without adding more debt. So stop digging, stop adding debt. Where you're finding you have borrowed from branch to pay Tala, Tala to pay Hustler Fund to pay Mshwari, Mshwari to pay KCB, and you understanding? So you're churning your debt like this. So you're mark timing in one position, you won't grow. You'll not grow your finances and you'll be very stressed. So stop digging. If you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. Stop digging. Find yourself. Stop digging so that you do not go into a deeper debt. All right. And as I said, one of the reasons people are getting into debt is because they do not have an emergency fund. So create an emergency fund ASAP. You cannot live or do without an emergency fund. All right. It's very important to understand, when you have debt, who is ruling over you? Who are you? Who has employed you? You realize from the screen that the rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. So do you want to be the rich? Do you want to be the poor? Do you want to be the borrower? Do you want to be the lender? Food for thought. And one of the things I encourage my clients to do is to read a proverb a day. A proverb a day will help you when you're going through debt challenges or when you need wisdom. Proverbs has talked a lot about riches, has talked about debt. And the beauty with the Proverbs, there are only 31 for every day of the month. So please memorize Proverbs 22:7. The rich. It's always nice to be rich. Why? Because money answereth all things and gives you ease. So be very vigilant for you to be the one who is the lender more than the borrower. Okay? All right. After you have analyzed where your money is going by tracking your expenses. I remember telling you in class 1 and in session 1 and 2, start recording your expenditure. Anytime you spend money, start recording so that you can be able to account and follow where your money is going. Start tracking your expenditure. And there are many tools online that can be able to help with this. There's meet.com. You can use an Excel sheet, or you can buy a small notebook. Anytime you get money, you're expensing, you note it down. Then categorize your spending. Is it a priority? Is it a need or a want? Even in where you live, is it a need or is it a want? Are you fitting a certain lifestyle, or can you be able to afford it? All right. Then try and identify trends. Trends in your own expenditure? Where are you spending them? Where are you spending your most money? And how can you be able to reduce those spending? So try and categorize your spending, see where your money is going by analyzing your trends. It's very easy to analyze your trends while you are noting down every expenditure that you have. Also, you're soon gonna get a windfall because many companies are giving bonuses during Christmas. That extra income that you're going to get, either through the bonuses for Christmas or through an increment, because there are many companies doing their performance evaluation currently. The extra income you get, do not eat mandazi. Do not eat it. No, use that money to hit your debt, to reduce it, so that you can be able to have more opportunities with your money in future. All right, you need to know that the goal of you working is to save and invest. After you have analyzed where your money is going to, you need to know where you work. What is the purpose of your money? And you realize from the slide there that the goal of working is to save and invest. The goal of your working is not to pay debts, because when you're paying debts, you're not working for yourself, you're working for the lender. All right, so you need to know where your money is going, and you need to give your money an assignment to work for you, to make use of your good hours that you've been able to work. You woke up early, you came home late. Why? So that you can be able to have your money working for you. So the goal of working is to save and invest. And that is the underlying fundamental principle of money. So, as we say, 30% of whatever you earn, you're supposed to keep it towards paying yourself first. And how do you pay yourself first? As you have seen in the next slide, you'll see that we need to keep an emergency fund, which is 10% of your income that should go towards saving in a money market fund. Do not save money in a SACCO or a bank, especially those two entities. You only save money in a SACCO that you're willing to borrow. Saving in a SACCO is not an investment. It is a tool to propel you to higher opportunity. Putting money in a bank is not helping you, and you may realize somebody who has zero income in the bank, and you who has a lot of money in the bank, the one who has less money in the bank, and they keep bringing in, removing, bringing in, removing, will get a bigger loan to be able to do their opportunities and the investment than you, who has kept your money in the bank. So it's very important as your financial goal. After you have saved, as you're saving for emergency, start investing your money where you can be able to get passive income. And for us as coaches, if you can be able to reach out to me, I'll be able to guide you and help you to save where in 10 years you'll get a return on investment of 40%, while protecting your next of kin with a free life cover, and reduce your taxes. For 15 years you'll get return on investment of 60%. And if you're doing for retirement saving, you get 80% and above, depending on how long you have to be able to save. Also, use compound interest. Compound interest is the earlier you begin to save, the more returns you have on your money because of compounding. Compounding means if the beginning of the month I had put this amount, then it gained interest. At the end of that month, you realize that the next month, the opening balance will be the principal plus the interest, meaning you'll have higher interest in the next month. And that will continue growing for you a portfolio that will be able to help you in the long run. Then financial freedom. When you have money, you are not bothered by people. You are not stressed by employers, right? Because you have opportunity cost because of the money producing for you and working for you, because you have passive income, you have choices, you're not limited by hand to mouth. You're understanding. You can even decide, for the next 6 months I just want to rest, and you take a leave of absence without pay, and you go and rest at home in the village for a period of time while you're taking care of your mental health. So money gives you freedom. Money gives you options. Money gives you good health. Why? You're not stressed. Money gives you good sleep. Why? Because you know you have a backup for your money. All right. I invite questions. I invite questions. I invite questions. Thank you for tuning in. I invite questions, and also could you please show my contacts in studio for anyone who may want to reach out to me. Any questions for us, Dr. Jem? Any questions so far in studio? Thank you, Angela. You're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. I am a debt counselor and I like helping people to get out of debt, get out of bad debts into good debts. So it's possible to do that. Just just be able just be able to reach out to me, reach out, and we can be able to negotiate how this goes. Any other question? You're very welcome. Another way, before I forget, you can do is to sell your debt. If you have a big debt, approach a big organization like your SACCO. Approach a big organization like your SACCO and ask them to buy your high interest rate loan. Sell it, sell your debt. Don't be too comfortable. Don't be too comfortable with your debt. Sell it. Sell your debt. 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 You need to calculate the interest. You need to calculate the interest. If you see that selling it is more profitable, like you'll find right now, because of no regulation in the bank loans, you're finding that the debt is so high. Well, at the SACCO, the debt is 1% per month. Sell it. Do not be too loyal to your bank. They're not helping you. You're welcome, Dr. Amanda. How you go about selling your debt is analyze. Do you know your debt? Do you know your financial position? Do you know your books? Once you be able to know your books, present that debt in two ways. You can either present it as a loan, or you can take a SACCO loan, or you can ask for your income to be going through your SACCO, because right now we have SACCOs that are FOSA. FOSA means they have front office services where they have tellers instead of being a BOSA. When it is a FOSA, it means they can be able to recover the debt from your checkoff. You understand? So you can be able to sell your debt. Sell your debt. Do not be loyal to your debt. Do not be loyal to your banks. See where you're gaining, how that money is working for you. Over to you, Dr. Jem. Yes, Dr. Jem is saying, kindly subscribe. Yes, subscribe to this channel. We have good news for you. We are here to help you. Wait, we can't hear you, Dr. Jem. I'm sorry. Try again. Can I talk about investing in DOE? It's very easy. Investing in DOE is a central bank app. Very, very, very easy. Very, very easy, my friends. Just download the app on Google Store and then register yourself and then start buying, start trading by looking at the treasury bills. Treasury bills are the short-term investment by the Central Bank of Kenya for the government of Kenya, or buy infrastructure bonds. All right, so it's very easy to invest in DOE. Just have more than 50,000 to be able to start trading, or 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 start buying the infrastructure bond where the taxes are free. It just takes you to start learning. Also follow the channel, Central Bank channel, on WhatsApp. They have a channel for themselves. Just search for it. It's very easy to follow, and they keep updating on the current bonds and bills that are there. Mm-hmm. All right, Dr. Jem says, see you again next week, same time, same space. Sorry for the network issues, but it was such a pleasure to have you. You can follow me on all my pages on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, or on Facebook. I'm Hannah, the financial coach, your best coach. I'm here to help you go through your debts. Come for debt counseling, come for financial planning, come for investment advice. We can do this together. It can be done, but you need to get out there and learn more. Happy to have you. Stay blessed. See you in the Wheels for a Mom. Bye. Baraka. Mwah. Ciao. Thank you. Oh, Jay Walls wants me to summarize quickly about 30% of paying yourself first. In that 30%, 10% towards emergency saving, 10% towards paying your children's campus fees, 10% goes towards paying for your retirement, because no one is planning your retirement for you. That's the basics of financial planning. All right. See you later. Let's catch each other in the different links that are there on the board. Stay blessed. Follow us for more. Bye. Ciao.